Good afternoon, Raider Nation. It is Monday. It is another loss coming off of our fourth straight loss, right? If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Joe Morley. I love to talk Raider football. I love to talk NFL football. And I'm one of the biggest Raider fans that you'll see. I am live right now on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Instagram, and live on TikTok. If you would like your comments to show up on the screen, you have to be on either Facebook or YouTube for me to be able to do that. And you can find me on Joe Morley on all platforms. I will try to read some of the comments on the other platforms if I see them and able to do so. But as you guys know, right now, we're hurting. We're hurting, Raider Nation. Like it's not looking pretty. Yesterday's game was pretty damn bad, and I don't know if you can hit rock bottom even more, right? Like everybody always says there's nowhere to go but up, but sometimes we end up finding the place to go. We end up finding the lower place to go, and it sucks. And I don't know if you guys saw the press conferences yesterday, and they were pretty bad. And I was not 100% happy with them. And I said, if you guys were on my live yesterday, after the show, like maybe I shouldn't go. Dub Raider saying it was caca. It was caca. And maybe I shouldn't go live after the games because my raw emotions were showing, and it was it was pretty bad. I said some stuff, and I was like, damn. Afterwards, I was like, dang. The Jeff Fox show, what's up? We suck, and it's true. It's we suck. Yes, yeah. And people are like, well, the Jets are worse. Well, okay, cool. If you want to find that to say and say the Jets are 0-5, but at least they put up some points. And there's one glaring need, and I just put a video up. There's one glaring need or issue, and it's Geno Smith. The rest, I mean, it doesn't help that we're also giving up points and we're getting carved in the secondary and our defense is giving up points. But if you watch the beginning of the game, there was promise in this game. The first couple of drives, the first drive at least, and then even the second drive before Geno threw that interception was going pretty well, right? And it was moving. We were moving the ball. And if you look at some of these play designs and you look at the 9 interceptions that Geno has thrown and you look at those plays, there's been wide receivers wide open on those plays. Something is affecting him, and Pete Carroll basically should have benched him yesterday. He should have benched him. There's nothing that says just because you bench him doesn't mean he can't start the next game. But sometimes you need to sit the player down. Sometimes you need to let him see it from a different direction. Let him see it from the sideline. Knock Andrew is saying this game was disgusting. I took a long shower afterwards. You got all that stench off, right? Somebody's saying Geno shouldn't even be in the league. I mean, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie with you. Like I'm right there with you guys. So for you to say that you were upset, there's no convincing me that you shouldn't be upset, and you should be. So let me pull this up for you guys. If you guys are on TikTok, I apologize, but if you're on all the other platforms, you're going to be able to see this. This is Pete Carroll's press conference yesterday, right here. This is Pete Carroll's press conference, and listen to what he said. So there he is. He says he thought about it. He thought about making a change, but he didn't see why. Because he wanted them to practice. He wanted them to practice. Was Pete watching the same game that we were watching? Was he not watching the same game? Because in the fourth quarter, the Raiders had 2 long drives. 13 play drives, 2 of them. 2 13-play drives. And you wanted to get practice. You wanted to practice with Geno Smith and the rest of the starters. But you took Ashton Jeanty out of the game and brought in Raheem Mostert. But you wanted to practice, right? And I said, what did you want to practice? Running up the middle? Because that's what you basically did, was waste time in the fourth quarter, basically gave up the game. I mean, if you wanted to practice, run your whole playbook. Practice. Like, get some plays out there that you normally aren't. Don't kick a field goal during a practice when you're down 40-3. Why'd you kick the field goal then if you want practice? Practice that fourth down play, right? You got Geno in there. Practice your fourth down play, Pete. The problem is Pete tries to gaslight us, and Pete tries to play the media. He tries to play us fans. This isn't Seattle, Pete. We're not some dumbass fan base. We actually care. We're not going to eat your words and be like, oh, Pete said this. No, we're actually going to look into it, and we're going to find out, Pete, that basically you're lying to us. You're lying to us. What happened is Pete Carroll knows that if he put Kenny Pickett in the game, and Kenny Pickett had a couple good plays, and it went well for Kenny Pickett, that all week long, he was going to hear a quarterback controversy in Las Vegas. And he didn't want to deal with that because he has a lot of respect for Geno Smith, and he believes in Geno Smith. And good for him. The casual fan would have looked at the box score and goes, oh, Kenny Pickett went 3 for 4 and scored a touchdown for us. We should start him. But most of us would have understood if you said, hey, we wanted to sit Geno down for the fourth quarter. We wanted him to get his head right, and then we'll start him again for the Titans game. And we would have understood that. Most people would have understood that. And we would have been like, okay, let's see if that fixed Geno going into the Titans game. Would have been understandable. But now you're still going to get the damn questions that you could have had answered, and you could have done some things, and you could have seen maybe if Kenny Pickett was part of it and could have fixed it. But you're still going to get those same questions all week long. You're still going to get them. It didn't change anything. Bad coaching all around. George, 100%. 100%. This is one of the rare cases for the Raiders that they're horrible on offense, they're horrible on defense, and they're god-awful on special teams. Like, the special teams unit has gone to crap. And Daniel Carlson, what are we doing, dude? Like, you used to be Mr. Clutch and never miss. And now, what's going on? Somebody said we should have kept Geno Smith. Who is that? Samoan Raider in disguise? George is saying everybody's out there just collecting paychecks. Chris is saying it's all BS. Yeah, everybody who's saying that Aiden O'Connell, they can't wait for Aiden O'Connell to come back, keep waiting because he's not he's not the answer. Ninth Island saying we need to think about trading for Russell Wilson. You know what? Russell Wilson's not the answer. But at this point, I'll try anything. I mean, Russ showed his age in New York, and there's a reason he got benched in New York, and he would have got beat out if they would have really had a quarterback controversy there. But holy crap. Faster is saying Pete Carroll is the problem. His defense is outdated and no good, and the players playing out of position all over the team. He just let our best linebacker go, and he's even has Max playing out. Well, the problem is Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham don't mix. Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham run two different types of defenses. And basically, Pete Carroll should have just brought somebody in that would have ran his defense. And you didn't need to change. But I think they kept Patrick Graham to keep Max Crosby happy, to keep the defense happy, and see if it worked. But what really happened is we should have let Patrick Graham go. We should have let him go do his own thing. And that would have helped us a little bit. Maybe they should have made Rob Leonard the defensive line coach, should have just made him the defensive coordinator, let him get his shot, and Pete Carroll should have helped him run the defense. But now what you're seeing is we have types of players, types of defensive players that run Patrick Graham's defense because they've been there. But then we're also trying to mix them in and run a version of the defense that Pete Carroll wants, but we don't have the players that Pete Carroll needs for his defense. Pete Carroll needs a badass linebacker. He needs some defensive backs, and it's not there. The team is getting worse, and the coaching is right there. And yeah, it's horrible. Trying to keep up on these comments. I apologize if I don't. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Patrick Graham. I haven't been a big fan of Patrick Graham, so maybe I'm taking a little bit more out of him. But I mean, Patrick Graham doesn't help. I mean, Geno Smith throwing interceptions doesn't help my case for the Patrick Graham because people are going to be like, well, it's not the defense. Well, yeah, it is. The defense gets carved up some. The defense gets tore up a little bit. Pete Carroll's defensive scheme is no good. Hey, it's just mind-boggling that he says people are in competition, but you're not putting people in competition. You're not letting them play the competition. Our third-round pick, Darian Porter, has been lights out. He got one pass at him this weekend, and he did pretty damn good. He defended it. I think it was like 4 yards or something like that. So Darian Porter's out there doing his job. Why did it take so long for him to get out there, though? Why did they want him to go out there? We need a free safety. Isaiah Palomalu is not it, right? We need a free safety. Our linebackers, and we talked about it going into the season, that they're older and they can stop the run occasionally, but they weren't going to be able to stick anybody. Jonathan's asking, do I feel comfortable if we draft a quarterback next year, even though he doesn't want him to? I don't feel comfortable putting any quarterback behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, even though our offensive line has looked better the last 2 days, our last 2 games, if our offensive line can continue to improve and look better throughout the year, then yes, we should draft a rookie quarterback next year. We should make it a priority to fix that position because you've seen it. Quarterbacks run it, 9 interceptions, and we aren't even halfway to the point of the season. No, we're 5 games. We're 5 games into the season. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We know Geno Smith wasn't supposed to be the answer. He was not the franchise quarterback, right? We knew that. But he was supposed to be the bridge cap quarterback that didn't hurt the team. The guy who came in here and basically been a game manager and let our defense bail us out of games and win games 13-10. Let Ashton Jeanty run the ball because that's why we drafted him number 6 overall, right? Why else would you draft a running back number 6 overall if you're not going to give him the damn ball? And it's been nice to see Ashton Jeanty actually get part of the passing game and be more involved. George is saying our season is unfortunately over. I mean, I have to agree with you. But if you were looking at playoffs at the beginning of the season, maybe there was a problem. But if you were looking at just seeing that, and this is what's frustrated me with Pete Carroll and this coaching staff, is I wanted to see improvement. I didn't want to see these blowout losses. I wanted to see us competing, right? Competing in games. And that's what we were promised. We all knew that the depth wasn't there. We all knew that there was issues with the team. We just thought it would be covered up a little bit better, right? We just thought Pete would be able to cover it up. LV Raider is saying, bottom line is, what do we need to immediately see the change? Firing everyone is not the answer. I don't think firing everybody is the answer either. But if things continue to get worse, and I don't like changing coaches, but if things continue to get worse, it's going to have to be a one and done, and that's going to be the reality because we're going to have to find somebody. But if Pete can show some improvement over the next couple of weeks, then he sticks around and he gives us promise. He shows the Raider Nation that there is something to look forward to in the future. Then that's what we need, right? Then that's where we go. Now, somebody is going to have to be a fall guy for somewhere in here. And I think it's going to be Patrick Graham. I think Patrick Graham will be the next one gone. They're not going to fire Chip Kelly because they have too much money invested in him. And if you actually look at it, Chip Kelly has actually had the play calling right. Some of them. Now, I'm not going to say every play has been 100% correct, But on some of those, where Geno Smith is throwing those interceptions, we have wide open. Trey Tucker is almost wide open every damn time. Like Trey Tucker is finally being used correctly. We don't have a quarterback that can get him the ball. What's good? Real talk. Have a good live. I appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys are down and in the dumps, and I'm going to say this real quick just to get out of the way. If you're going to the Titans game, because every time the Raiders put us down, we still show up anyways, right? That's what we do. We're Raider fans. We're dumb. But we show up no matter what. I will be tailgating with the Raiderverse at the Raider Masquerade. The barcode is right there on the screen if you guys can see it. And it's my birthday weekend. It's my birthday weekend, so come celebrate the Raiders and come celebrate me and at the Raider Masquerade. Meet everybody: Samoan Raider, Power Raider, MC Raider, Josh, the Goat. Everybody, we're all going to be out there having a good time. And you get 10% off with the promo code if you use Raiderverse10. It's all you can eat food, all you can eat drinks, or all you can eat drinks. All you can eat food, all you can drink. And yes, that is alcohol for 4 hours. It opens up at 9:20. And why go to Vegas and carry your barbecue and all that when you can just show up with us? You can just show up with us. So, hey, and you might as well drink and party before the game because you've already seen how this team performs, right? You already seen what this team. Have a good time before the game, so that way if they disappoint us during the game, we're already happy. We're already like, yeah, we're good, right? We're already good. Chris, happy birthday! I appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Cheeto, it's your birthday too. That's right. Hell yeah. Me and Cheeto got the same birthday week. Appreciate it, George. Appreciate it. But yeah, if you guys are going to go there, it's not like the Oakland tailgate. I don't think we can ever replicate the Oakland tailgates, but we can have a hell of a lot of fun, right? We can have a hell of a lot of fun. All right, so I wanted to do this with you guys right here. I wanted to do this with you guys. I went to ChatGPT. Everybody's using ChatGPT these days, right? And everybody's this is right here, Cheeto. If you guys want to know, it's the Raider Masquerade. Confirm360.com. You go on there. It is a little expensive. It's about $150, especially with our promo code. You click on the Raider Masquerade. They have live TVs. They got DJs. They got food. I mean, for $150, you get all you can eat, all you can drink, and shade, and just a great time. Like, you're in Vegas, that's going to pay for all your food. You're going to spend more inside the stadium or at the casino than you are going to be at that tailgate. All right. No, I appreciate it, George. I appreciate it. Anyway, so this is what I wanted to get out to you guys. I went to ChatGPT, and everybody's using ChatGPT today, these days, right? And they're getting ChatGPT to give you the answers. So I said, ChatGPT, can you tell me why I should still believe in the Las Vegas Raiders? Right? Tell me why, ChatGPT, why I still believe in the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's what ChatGPT said. It says, totally fair question. Being a Raider fan takes some serious emotional endurance. 100% ChatGPT. But here are a few reasons to still believe in the Raiders, even in the chaos. Number one, the defensive core is real. Max Crosby is a beast. He's not just a Pro Bowl. He's the heart of the team. Okay. Cap space and draft flexibility. Okay. The Raiders have always come back. I don't know about that, ChatGPT, but part of the Raider Nation's identity is surviving heartbreak and chaos. Every time people count them out, they pull off a shocker. From upsets over top teams to unlikely playoff pushes. Okay? So yeah, it's frustrating, but there's real talent, a culture taking shape, and a fan base that never dies. If you hang on now, it'll mean even more when they finally turn the corner. Okay. Like that's what I've always said that, like, nobody wants to be a bandwagon Raider fan, right? There's no such thing as bandwagon Raider fans because you have to be a little bit insane to come over and want to go through this abuse and go through all that, right? So what ChatGPT is saying is exactly what I said. It's exactly what happened when the Dodgers won the World Series after all the years of me supporting them. When they finally turn that corner, and you've been a fan for so long, and you have endured the good and the bad, it will be worth it, 100%. So yeah, I just wanted to read that with you guys and laugh at it and see what ChatGPT actually thought about our team this year, and give you guys maybe just a little bit of hope, right? Maybe just a little bit of hope in there. But anyways, we've been a little bit on the live show. We've been on for about 20 minutes, and I haven't said this, so let's go ahead and say it. Raiders! So if you're in there, if you were in any of these live streams, go ahead and put Raiders in the chat. Let me know where you guys are at. And we'll go from there. See, I like how people always like to come back and try to throw stuff at me and say, you were wrong about yesterday's game. You said the Raiders were going to do this. At no point did I say the Raiders would win. I said, I hope they win, right? I hope they win. And I said, if the Raiders wanted to win or were going to win, this is what they have to do. I'm pretty good at covering my ass. I'm pretty good at telling you, like, if you watch my videos and you watch me pretty much daily, you kind of know how I'm feeling going into the week. You'll know if I think the Raiders are going to win. I won't come out and really say that the Raiders are going to lose. I won't come out and say that, but I won't come out and tell you. I won't ever say like the Raiders are going to lose this week. But I'll be like, I'll give you hints. Right? There we go. There's a couple of them. Just Raiders baby is saying the positive is I'm looking forward to today as the Dodgers possibly go up 2-0. That would bring some joy back. If the Dodgers go up 2-0 and the Kansas City Chiefs lose tonight, that would bring some happiness to us, right? That would bring a little bit of good news to Raider fans, just to have a little bit out there. Yeah, and the Raiders. I mean, this 4-game losing streak is hurting right now. I've seen the Raider Nation down before, and I've seen us hurting before, and it's not like it's anything new for us, right? It's not like losing is something that we're not used to. It's just that we've always hoped that we're turning the corner. There's always hope that we're gonna be ready to contend, right? Like I guess that's what it is. Like we want to see something to give us hope in the future and be like, okay, we're building this, and then we'll go on the free agent. We'll get some more players. We'll go draft well. Next year, we'll build a little bit more, and by then, we'll have a team ready to compete for years to go. But every year, and it sucks, we're week 5, and we're already like, I wonder how our draft's going to be next year. Oh, should we fire our coach? Like that's not normal. That's not normal conversations for teams to have. Like, you're not supposed to be talking about next year's draft at week 5. You're not supposed to be like, hey, at least I got a good fantasy football team. Right? You're not supposed to be excited and watch college football because you can be like, oh, we could draft that guy next year at week 5 of the NFL season. And I'm not saying, I'm saying like we are allowed to be frustrated. We're allowed to be upset. That's just the way it is. I mean, we want, like Pete Carroll, be honest with us. Today, the Raiders released Jermaine Pratt. Jermaine Pratt was probably our best linebacker. Right? He was probably our best linebacker. No lie. All overall, he was probably our best linebacker. But we don't know what was going on in that locker room. Jermaine Pratt has been a guy where he has had locker room issues when he was with the Bengals. he does to call out coaches if he's right or if he's wrong when he says it, right? I mean, people don't like that. Sometimes coaches and people and in spots, sometimes you're at work, right? And your manager doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, but you call them out, then they're going to look at you and you're going to be blackballed, right? You're going to be the fall guy. You're going to be the one that gets trouble. Kind of like that's what I'm feeling happen with Jermaine Pratt. Jermaine Pratt's a veteran. He don't owe nothing to the Raiders. He signed a free agency. He's only there for a year, right? And he doesn't like losing. And so he's like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, shut up. I'm the coach. And he's like, and he just goes back and forth. I'm thinking that's what happened. It sucks. I like Jermaine Pratt as a player. But if it helps our locker room and Pete feels that, hey, we could still move on and get the same production as somebody else, then sometimes talent shouldn't make your roster decisions. You should be trying to find a culture in somebody who doesn't talk back. Somebody just Raider Baby saying, I mean, if he called out Patrick Graham or Pete Carroll, he ain't wrong. We're trash right now. Yeah, I know. But sometimes you don't want to hear that, right? Sometimes leadership, coaching, they're blinded by their own little window too, and they don't want to hear what they're doing wrong. People never want to hear what they're doing wrong. It's just human nature. And if you're always a thorn in them, and it makes it easier to cut you too when we're losing. Be like, yeah, we'll cut you as well. I mean, if you're just going to run your damn mouth, get out. If you're going to run your mouth, get out of here. It's not like you're helping us win games. We're 1-4. Now, if the Raiders were 4-1 and he's been a dominant defensive guy, it would have made it harder to cut him, right? Even if he was running his mouth. Yeah, Jermaine Pratt was like, fuck this. I'm out. And there might be more to go with it. I mean, some players get to the NFL and they get to the level of where they're at. They're content with where they're at, and they don't like losing, and they just quit. Aaron is saying trust the process. We've heard that before, and we got to continue to do it until elsewise. Like the problem is, and I think this might be one of the issues with Pete Carroll, is maybe they thought there was more talent on this team when they took the job in the offseason. Maybe they thought they could get a lot more out of some of these players than they're actually getting, because Pete Carroll said he didn't want to rebuild. He didn't want a complete rebuild. He wanted to compete and bring pieces in at the same time. Well, I think you're realizing that, hey, this team is fucked up. This team is trash. There's no depth on this team, and there's a lot of work to be done. And I think they kind of overshot their time, and that's why maybe they didn't attack the free agent market like they should have. Maybe they took the draft for granted and they thought they could take more project players that could help them in a year or so than right now currently. And I think Pete is finding that out. And he even said in his press conference today, what did Pete Carroll say in his press conference? It's a lot harder than his last couple of times of turning jobs around, of turning the Raiders around. The Raiders aren't an easy fix. Like I mentioned it many times before. We've had multiple turnovers in multiple years, and that never helps anybody. You combine multiple turnovers, like multiple roster turnovers of people getting cut, people getting brought in for your system, for who you fit, and then cutting them the next year and bringing somebody in. You combine that with years of horrible drafting where you're not getting anything out of your draft class. I mean, that's just the way it is. You're not going to be able to compete. You're not going to have depth on your roster. And that's what the Raiders are looking at. We're looking at a team. We need to continue to just have solid offseason after solid offseason, and it's going to take a while, and it's going to get there, and you're going to have to get people to buy in. But what I don't understand right now is why Pete is not just embrace. I know Pete wanted to win this year, and I understand that. And I feel that he wanted to come in here and give us something and give us some wins. Well, once you realize now, Pete, that you're 1-4 and basically this season is not going the way you wanted, start teaching, start learning, bring some of the young guys in, get them the playing time so we can get them at an earlier development and start developing them early because the NFL season goes by quick. Like I said, we're already going into week 6. Get some of these young guys in there, get them the playing reps that we need. And hell, if you need to, you bring Cam Miller off the practice squad and you see what he can do. And you just got to let these young guys figure it out. Because if we're going to lose, right? If we're going to lose these games, at least let us feel that we have something to look forward to next year. Like Darius Porter. Darius Porter has looked good, right? That's a bright spot for us on the Raider defense. That's a bright spot for us right now. So why not allow us to find other people? The offensive line has actually improved 2 games in a row. Has actually looked good the 2 games in a row. The Raider organization, I got multiple comments coming in at the same time. Sell the Raiders to Mark Walter. I don't think it's Mark Davis. I don't think Mark Davis, and I've said this multiple times, wants to lose on purpose. I don't think Mark Davis gives a damn about money because he wanted to stay in Oakland and it just didn't work that way. And he's fighting with look at what he's doing with the Aces, right? He just hasn't been able to find the right football guy. And maybe it would have worked with Gruden if the NFL didn't go after him, blackball him, right? Maybe it would have worked. But he hasn't been able to find the right guys, the right football guy to run the business for him. And that's what's basically going on. Hey, bro, someday we'll be able to compete. You never know what if we win all the rest of the games. Shit's crazy. I can see my Raiders getting hyped over 1 win and going for more wins. Yeah. You never know. You've seen it. You've seen people go on 10-game losing streaks. You've seen people go on 10-game winning streaks. It doesn't happen. Yes. And it could happen. The Raiders play the Titans this week. That should be a win. It should be a win. How the Titans beat the Arizona Cardinals last week was was one of the miracles in NFL history. Like if you saw, everything went into alignment for the Titans last week. The Cardinals running back dropping the ball on going into the end zone. Then Cam Ward threw a pass that got picked off, and then the guy fumbled it into the end zone for the Titans to score a touchdown. The Titans were losing 21-6 in the fourth quarter and won that game basically because Arizona gave them the game, or Arizona made some dumb boneheaded mistakes. Like I said, basically Arizona took touchdowns off the board. Greetings from Santa Ana. Raiders, what's up, Noe? Tom Brady turned around 2 years ago for the Raiders. Well, we got to continue to keep building. If it's Tom Brady, if it's Pete Carroll, if it's whoever it is, keep building, keep going, get us out there, and just show us some improvement. And it's like Geno Smith is just not like, interceptions happen. Every quarterback throws interceptions. But 9 interceptions in 5 games? 9 interceptions in 5 games? The closest to him is 8 interceptions, right? And that's Jake Browning of the Cincinnati Bengals. And he's done it in 3 games. But he's also the backup quarterback that came in for Joe Burrow. He has no expectations. He's just flinging the damn ball. And the Bengals, if they had somebody, they probably would bench him. The next person would be Joe Flacco, who has 6 interceptions. You know what happened to Joe Flacco? He got benched. Now, there was a lot more with Joe Flacco than there is with Geno. Joe Flacco was also a statue back, adding Dylan Gabriel mobility and helped the Browns out just a little. And that's what we want to see from Geno. Geno is just getting a tunnel vision, right? He's focusing in on one player and one player only, and he throws the ball in there. And it seems like teams are baiting him. It looked like the Bears did. Elias is saying, Joe, shout out from Oakland, California. Come on, enough is enough. Turn the game off yesterday, brother. That ain't normal. No, I wish I had the power in me to turn the game off, but I guess I love the abuse, and I just sit there and I continue to watch. But I really do wish that I could turn the TV off, like, and just walk away, and just walk away. But I sit there and I watch all the way. Same thing like when I go to the games in the stadium. I never leave the game early. I sit there, even though people will say you left the game early. I'll never leave a game early. I never show up late to a game, and I never leave a game early. That's my own rule. I've learned my lesson doing that, and I didn't learn it in football. I learned it in baseball because I've only left one game early in my whole entire life. I've only left one game early in my life, and it was the Los Angeles Dodger game, and I had to go to a birthday party for one of my oldest aunts, my great aunt or whatever. So we were like, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. It's a surprise birthday. We'll be there. We're going to go to the game, and then we'll get there. The game ran late. We left. As we were driving home, Finley hit a grand slam to win the division for the Dodgers. And I will never regret that. I would never regret leaving early that day. That's a horrible, horrible thing, Jace. I said the same thing, but I watched till the end. Yeah, Chris. I mean, that's what losing filters out the real fans and the casual fans and the fake fans, right? I don't know if there's fake fans, but the casual fans, I would say, because there's hardcore fans that show up every day. There's hardcore fans that go Raider Nation, no win and loss, no matter what. They're watching the game, they're doing their game. Then you have the casual fans that go, "Well, I'm a Raider fan, but I don't know much about the team. I check the scores in the day," and that's where we'll start going. And that's every team has that. Every team has that fan base. So Jason is asking, "Hey Joe from West V, you're from West V, cool. What's up, man?" He's saying, "Do we do Crosby a favor and let him go?" I don't think Max Crosby wants to be traded. There's something in NFL players, or especially guys like Max Crosby, that they want to be the guy that turns the franchise around. They want to be the guy that the reason why a bad team becomes a good team. I think I think Max Crosby loves competing against Patrick Mahomes. I think he loves it. I think he wants to compete against the best. Now, do I think we should entertain offers for Max Crosby? I talked about it in the offseason that we should have done it. Because the Raiders have so many damn holes. If a team comes up and they offer you 2 first-round picks and something, like a Micah Parsons deal, you probably got to take it. But do I think a team that's going to offer that to us right now? No. I don't think so. Because I think they're going to try to buy low on Max Crosby. Do I want to trade Max Crosby? Hell no. Will it help the team in the long run? Probably. I mean, to add more draft picks and to be able to fill our hole, but that's a big hole because nobody else on the defensive line right now, maybe besides Booker, has done anything. Malcolm Kuntz, where's Malcolm Kuntz? Where's Malcolm Kuntz been? Tyree Wilson. We're not getting much. We're not getting much out of that defensive line besides Max Crosby. So yes, it's easy to say if a team offers that, but it would also give us another big ass hole that we had to have to fill. Winner is saying, why haven't we benched Geno? What is he doing for us? I think it's just stubbornness by Pete Carroll. I think he feels that Geno has the talent to get through it and be able to work through it, but he doesn't want to call. I think he has too much respect for Geno to just bench him. And then Kenny Pickett has only been with the team for 4 weeks, and he wonders how much of the offense he actually knows. And I think that's part of it. I think that's a lot of it. But I mean, Geno had a couple good years in Seattle, but before that, where was he? Right, and it's just part of the risk that you take by taking a journeyman quarterback and putting them in there. So Jason's saying he agrees that Pete feels that if Geno fails, then Pete fails. Yeah, and you know what? It's not that Pete would fail if Geno does. It's you're trying to put the best. I respect you more trying to win games and trying to put players that you think would win games for us on the field than trying to stick with your guns and respecting a player and showing respect. Like, if you have to bench Geno Smith, that's not on you. That's on Geno. You're trying to do what's best for the team, Pete, at this point. You're trying to show that other players out there that, hey, if Geno is our issue or you're our issue, we're going to bench you and we're going to move on. And it's just what Pete has to do. It's just what Pete has to do. And I don't understand why he's not getting it through his head, why he's not doing it for us and doing it for the Raider Nation. I'm not going to lie. Pete Carroll was on the top list of candidates that I wanted because of his history and what he's done. And through the offseason, he said all the right stuff. He said all the right stuff. He did all the right stuff. But now we're 5 games into the season, and I'm going, are we just cursed? Because now Pete Carroll and John Spytek are doing some weird stuff. It started with the Wilkins thing, and it just gone downhill from there, right? The Amari Cooper not putting Mostert on the active roster for 3 weeks, what they're doing with JPJ, like playing with JPJ for a couple weeks, and now the Jermaine Pratt thing. Like, it's just, why can't we be a normal franchise for once, right? Why can't we just not have any drama for a couple weeks? Just go out there, play a game. That's what I'm asking. I mean, it was so bad that our punter got hurt last week. Our punter. That's where you just sit there and you go, you just take the hit and you just laugh. And that sometimes Raider fans get mad at me because they go, are you a Raider fan? You make fun of us too much. Because that's the way I deal with it. That's the way I deal with the losing, with the heartache, with everything else. Is sometimes you just got to laugh at it. Right? In life, if you're not laughing, then you ain't living. Like, you got to roll with the punches. And you got to know that our team sucks. And that's just what it is. Like, I had a guy DM me yesterday. He goes, I got to unfollow you, Joe, because the Raiders suck and it's depressing. Bye. Like, why did you even text me? Why did you even DM me that? Just go. Just go. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the goddamn kitchen. But I know from now on, anytime you come up to me, I know if the Raiders are able to turn it around, I know who wasn't there. I know who wasn't there. I better not see you in my comments going, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You have the right to be angry. You have the right to be upset as a fan, and you have the right to live in the moment, and that's what I do. I do that shit all the time. But just know that emotional, like people are always saying, like, you said this and this. Yeah, because we're emotional fan base. We're in the moment. We talk about a moment, and sometimes as a content creator, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to talk and say something that I might be pissed off at the moment and say it, or I might be happy at the moment, but then I have to sit back and relax and go, oh, okay, I shouldn't have really said that, and that's okay. Dub Raider saying, being in a dysfunctional for so long, basically a dysfunctional relationship for so long, we don't drink the Kool-Aid anymore, and we call it as it is. Yeah. When I first started doing the podcast and I first started doing like content creation, I used to sit here and try to be right. all the time and be like, no, I can't word it that way. Let me do this. I can't post that because this part of the fan base is going to say this, and this part of the fan base is going to say that. And then I was like, oh, I can't post that because the Raiders will get mad if they see it. And then I was just struggling with myself, and it became like a job, right? Then I'm like, if I can't really, then I was like faking videos, and I was like, yay, the Raiders signed Jimmy G. It should work out well for us. And I'm like, and then I get off and I look at my wife and she's like, did you really believe what you said? I go, no, but I don't want to be negative against the team because I don't want people to get pissed off at me. And then something clicked last year and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a damn if people agree or disagree. These are my opinions and this is what I'm going to throw out there. And there's people that feel and act the same way that I do that are going to be like, yeah, Joe. And then there's going to be people that don't do what I do and don't agree with me. And they're going to be like, oh, screw you, Joe. And I'm like, okay with it. But at the end of the day, I got to be myself. And I got to let my, I got to answer to myself when I go out to these events. And this offseason was an eye-opening for me. This offseason, when I said, screw it, I'm just going to be myself. And I told you I didn't like the Ashton Jeanty draft pick. Not that I didn't like Ashton Jeanty himself. I didn't like using the number 6 overall pick on a running back. I went to so many Raider events. Every post that I put online, I dropped like 2,000 followers where people were telling me I was dumb and I was horrible. Thank you for the gift on TikTok. And everywhere I go, I had to defend my video for that. And I just realized, like, you know what? I'm okay with that because I feel, and I still feel that the way we should have gone with a lineman. As much as I like Ashton Jeanty and as much as he showed you where he's at, you build the team. There's different ways to build a team, but the one solid way and the one proven way that it's shown is you build with the trenches and you move your way up. You move your way up with the trenches. Raiders, for some reason, we built it the opposite way. We're trying to build with a tight end, running back, and try to move in. And we're seeing how that works, right? Dub is saying, I pay $8,500 a year for his season tickets. I will talk shit as much as I want. So should everybody else until proven otherwise on the field. Yes. As a fan, and people say, well, you don't play for the team. Why are you so invested? Because we might not put the work in on the field, right? We're not grinding at the practice, but we're buying the gear. We're spending our Sundays tailgating. We're watching the games. Some of us are watching the film along with the players. And some of us, that's what we do for 18 weeks out of there. That's our time. Some people go to Rome and Italy, and some people go to Disneyland, and some people go to Raider games for their vacation, right? And some people spend the NFL season following the Raiders. And I saw my guy all in Autumn Wind yesterday, Brian Fowler. If you guys don't know who All In Autumn Wind is, please follow him on all platforms. Brian is out there this year trying to break the Guinness World Record of most NFL games attended by a fan in one season. The current record is 33 games set by 2 Charger fans. I think last night marked number 14 for Brian, number 14 on the season. He's going to hit every single NFL stadium this year. And it's not just Raider games. He's hitting every game. He's going Thursdays. He's going Sundays. He's going Mondays. And then towards the end of the season, when they have those Saturday games, Brian will be there. All in Autumn Wind. Find him, guys, because he had me on my seat tracking him on Saturday because he went to a wedding Saturday in mid California, had to drive to LAX, get on a plane, and fly to Indianapolis for the game. and he was sweating it. And if Brian the Guinness uh, has so many rules for him that if he wasn't at the start of the game and he's not at the end of the game, they won't count that game towards the record. There's a lot of rules that Brian has to go by and he has to follow. And so if you guys aren't following All In on a Win, please do so. But yesterday he posted a video where people told him, and people have told me the same thing, and I think they tell every Raider fan that, or they tell every NFL fan that when your team loses, you waste your money each and every year going to the games. Just boycott them. I can't do that. I mean, what I spend my money on is my issue anyways, right? But like he said, we don't go to the games for a win. We go to the games hoping for the win. But when you go to an NFL game, you go to a concert, you go to a baseball game, you're going for the experience, right? When you walk into Allegiant Stadium, there's something awesome about it. To watch an NFL game is amazing. To watch these athletes on the field and what they're able to do. And if your team can win, more power to it, and you're excited. And if your team loses, you're pissed off and you're wondering why you spent that money. But you look at the experience that you had and the fun that you had with the rest of the fans, and just the overall experience of tailgating and who you met. Like Raider fans, like I know we get made fun of a lot, but we're kind of like a familyhood, right? There's so many people that I've met over the last couple of years and so that I continue to talk to every single day. And some of them have grown to be some of my best friends. And it's awesome. I go to the tailgates on Sundays knowing maybe the Raiders are going to lose, right? More than likely. But I walk the tailgates, seeing everybody's happy face, shaking hands, and just having a great time with them. And then going to the stadium and watching them play. But I am also one of those guys that if the Raiders aren't playing and I have tickets to Chargers Chiefs, I'm going to go to that game. Why? Because I love the NFL. And I'll watch every game that I can. And I'll talk to every fan base because that's what the NFL football season is about. It's about having fun and talking shit with your friends. But when it comes down to it, right? It's about having fun. And do you really think me not spending one game in Las Vegas or at whatever game I want to boycott, do you really think that that's going to affect an NFL team? No. Chris said he agrees. He's always told his kids that it's for the experience. Yeah. I mean, especially taking a kid. Kids remember that. I remember my first game as a kid. Like, it means so much. And if you're a young athlete or you're a professional athlete, I think that's what you got to remember too. Anytime a kid sees you on the field, and it's at high school, if you're a high school football player, if you're a college football player, hell, even if you're a flag football player and you're playing you're 7, 8 years old. If there's a younger kid that waves at you at the field or he says what's up to you, that kid is looking up to you. That kid is going to remember that interaction with you. So always be nice when you can out there. Athletes should always take that second chance to say what's up to, especially a kid. At this point in our Raider fandom, it's more about the Raider Nation than it is about the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes. And that's another thing I don't want to get into right now. But I'm running, I've already been live for a long time. Is the fans that resent Las Vegas because they moved from Oakland. And that's a whole nother story. And that's a whole nother thing. But if you guys do have some tickets that you don't want anymore, send them my way. Send them my way. I'll take them. I don't know why I started dancing right there, but I mean, I'll take any free tickets that you guys don't want. You can send them my way. Yeah, had a blast last year. I'm glad you guys did. Anyways, it is towards the end. I've hit all of my notes. I talked a lot. I thought we had a great conversation throughout here, guys. It's been a great Monday. Just Raiders Baby said he'll take your tickets too. Send them. Send them. But we'll see how the Raiders respond this week against the Tennessee Titans, who They might have one win. We have one win. It's the battle of the first overall pick, right? I don't know, something like that. We'll see how it go, but appreciate everybody who's been in the live, everybody who's been turned into all these platforms that I am able to stream to. I love it, and it's awesome to be able to interact with people, even if you are giving me a hard time. If you're trolling, that's what I love, right? That's what we're supposed to. If you're trolling responsibly, right? If you're trolling the correct way. If you ever look at, like, people always get mad and they always say, "Why do you attack my fan base? Why do you attack the Niners or the Chargers?" I don't attack people personally. I do it in a playful way where I hit the fan base or the team, but I don't hit people personally. That's not the way I play. I don't play that way. So just letting you guys know. But I appreciate everybody who's been in here. Just Raiders, baby. Dub Raider, Chris, everybody who's on TikTok. Everybody, appreciate everybody who had a good show. Remember, this Sunday, if you make it out to the tailgate area, Raider Masquerade. Go to confirm360.com, click on the Raider Masquerade, use the promo code Raiderverse10, and it's all you can eat, all you can drink. They got the red zone, they got everything in. It's not the Oakland tailgate, but it's good enough. It's a tailgate, right? You'll be there. So I'll see you guys all Sunday, and I'll probably, I say see you Sunday, but not like I'm not going to go live tomorrow, right? Like I'm not going to sit here tomorrow. But I appreciate it, guys. Have a good rest of your afternoon, and hopefully the Chiefs lose. Hopefully the Chiefs lose.